Good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year to you. Here on the East Coast, we're 3 hours away from 2023, 6 out in California. Amsterdam, where Zhenya is, for 2 more days until he gets me. Already 3 in the morning and 4 a.m. in Ukraine. Been an unbelievable New Year's Day. We're going to discuss it. We're going to bring you up to speed. We're going to share with you tonight statements of Reznikov that are so on point. It's unbelievable. They have it translated. We're going to show you the full thing on this New Year's Eve. Quite a day. Before we jump in, as always, thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for caring, sharing, and liking. Thank you for all the giving that you're doing. Everything is packed, ready to roll out of here Monday morning, very, very early. And always, thank you to our moderators. You guys do a good job, and it's deeply appreciated. With that said, let's tell our friend here, Happy New Year.
Okay, Happy New Year, guys. Good evening. Good
Nice
morning.
to see you, bud. Looking good there, the blue and the yellow. And quite a day.
Thank you.
Quite a day.
Yeah, serious day. Serious day.
Very, very serious day. Probably going to turn out to be another one of the key days in the war, with major things happening, not only with the strikes, which we will discuss, and that's what we'll start with, but serious statements coming out of Reznikov, coming out of Danilov, and just a little while ago coming out of Zelensky's mouth. In addition to that, we also have what Putler's been doing today, celebrating the terror that he's bringing to Ukraine. So we'll jump in. We'll get to it. Thank you for being here. Jacob, let's start here. This day started with terrible, terrible missile attacks. 4 main cities were struck, and they are Kyiv, Zaporozhye, Mykolaiv, and unfortunately, I have to say, our city. And we're talking cruise missile strikes. Can you bring folks up to date? I've got video of Khmelnytsky. We'll just show it dropping in locations. It's already way past the time. No problem. Everybody knows where it hit. And then I have video also of just some Kyiv aftermath of the strikes, a couple of photos, and showing the heart of the Ukrainian people on New Year's Eve when they're hunkering down in bomb shelters, singing songs. Going to show all of that, but bring everybody up to date tonight on what has happened on the missile strikes throughout Ukraine.
It was a big attack, and they wanted to destroy much more. They could, but that's good that our air defense system worked well, and so the main thing they wanted to destroy, our guys protected. That's good. The bad things, yes, there is killed people today. So the Putin and his nation, Russia, they are sending the death letter right before the new year. It's like a signature of that country, who they are. It's nothing about the language, nothing about protecting someone. It's about the killing. This is what makes them happy, and so this is what they wanted to wish the people of Ukraine right before New Year. So,
could you explain to people tonight that may not understand Slavic culture, Russian culture, Ukrainian culture, Eastern European culture, how important this holiday is, the New Year's Eve, New Year? It's a big deal. It's a big holiday.
I would say like this, as for me, my opinion, if to take about 10, 15, 12 years ago, it was the main celebration. Not Christmas, for the government and so on. Now it's coming. It's in the process of changes. It's coming to the Christmas time. And by the way, this year is the first time when Ukrainians were voting and gave their voices for celebrating Christmas with all the main Christian world. 25th of December.
Awesome.
So I think, but for the, yes, it was the main from the Soviet Union time, and for other people, let's say, not just for them, it was like a main main one of the main days. So Russia knew it, and this is why they decided to do it.
These missiles today were launched from the Caspian Sea. Lots of photos and video out where the skies are just full of the missile trails. It was a mass launch all at one time. We've got wounded and destruction in all 4 of the key cities. Let's show a little bit. Let's do Kyiv first, and then we'll show Khmelnytsky. So show you a little damage here in Kyiv, and then a couple of photos, and then the video will conclude with the resolution of the Ukrainian people during this missile attack in the shelters, which is the underground metro system, singing classic Ukrainian songs during all of these attacks. This is Kyiv today. Just residential, man. Here's just a still photo. This would be a before and after. So there, quick view of Kyiv. You can see the civilian targets, and you can see the wonderful Ukrainian people singing. You're not going to defeat those people.
So the first video of the hotel, it was the place where Russians are expected that some NATO observers are staying there. So they were happy that they targeted that. But in reality, according to the information I know, the only wounded is from that area is the Japanese journalist. And the next one, they destroyed the place in Kyiv. It was really not far from Pavel Ivanovich, the same area he lives. And he was hiding in the corridor, looking for the man who was 92 years old. I mean,
you're talking about grandfather now, who we've interviewed on this program multiple times, Pavel Ivanovich. Your in-laws today heard a lot.
And my 3 volunteers, they said that it was right over their heads, the missile, because it was really close. Okay, they made it, and they did it. The Russians did it, and we lost some people today. Seems to me 4 people died, killed by Russians. Not died, but they were killed by Russians.
Yes.
Some people are still fighting for their life, and the medics are fighting for their life. And I think about 30, maybe 40, maybe a little bit more wounded at this moment,
know that
including
the most recent number in Khmelnytsky was 13 wounded, 10 serious in the hospital. That was the number that just came out from the mayor. Speaking of Khmelnytsky, this strike will show you now. You can actually see the caliber missile, cruise missile coming in, dropping down, hitting. You may wonder, okay, can you tell us about where it's in Khmelnytsky. And what I can tell you is this: as the crow flies, it's about 1 mile from where I stay. As the crow flies on a straight line, mile and a half max. I know this spot very, very well. Here it is. There's it dropping. Sound catches up. I'll pull it back one time. You may not have caught it. Look to the right of the screen, right 1/3, and you'll see it dropping. The guy that does a lot of our translation, Vladimir Zelensky, whom you guys know, just lost his brother-in-law in the war in the East, told me that he had some friends today that were very, very close to that impact. Their windows, doors blown out. So this was on our doorstep, bud. On our doorstep.
Yeah, and yes, it's like, I mean, I don't know how to comment that.
No, there's nothing to comment. This is the terrorism.
Like,
let me ask you one question.
Okay.
And you know, you're a unique Ukrainian in that you work all over the entire country. I mean, everywhere, north to south, east to west. So all of Ukraine, you know very well. But sitting there in Amsterdam right now and you watch that video, you know exactly where it hit. It's your city. Does it affect you a little different, or everything's equal?
No, it's a little bit different from one side. From other side, it's like I'm having the news today from all my friends and relatives from different places, and I have video recorded by close people, and they send it. They're not in the news that those video with the attacks of the. So like for me, it's not easy. I mean, from one side, I'm happy that kids are in safe. From other side, I want to do as much I can for the Russia would not just stop as where they are, but they stop this way of existing they have. I mean,
it's just unbelievable. The world permits this. It's terrorism, and the world permits it.
Yes, and the world today, you will not find it on most of the maybe Poland and Lithuania, countries like that, but on the more main TV channels, you will not see that. You will not see that. It's
Correct.
Reality.
Well, you know, I've been checking American news, and I like to look when there's big days like this, and you know, there's just, I mean, honestly, I'm going to go right here just to show. Here we are on this day when many people were wounded, 4 have been killed, terror has reigned, and this is what we see. Suspect, this is a guy suspected of murdering 4 people in Idaho. Australia, New Year doesn't work. Talking about a Moscow police chief, you would think, oh, Russia. No, that's Idaho. 3 big mistakes scammers make. A McDonald's article. Brother, it's not even here.
Okay,
so
let's just.
I know, but I'm validating the point you say. It's not even here. And that's one site. I'm not even going to look at the others because no purpose. It's not here. So let's go now and share it ourselves then. Let's share it ourselves. We'll go here. So what was happening in Moscow today when all this was happening? And yes, we do have the Reznikov video for the New Year's Eve address to Russia. We will be showing it in full in just a couple of minutes. We're going to be expeditious with our time tonight so you can celebrate with your family and friends on New Year's Eve. Right here, what happens in Moscow today? First of all, in Moscow, Putler gave out an award to Surovikin. Who is that? That's the general that is releasing all of this terror. So the missiles raid down. The guy that's those are the two guys that are ultimately responsible, the dictator and the general on the battlefield. He gets an award. Check this out right here.
Орденом Святого Георгия Третьей степени. Герой Российской Федерации, генерал армии Суровикин Сергей Владимирович.
He just called his name out. That's all that was. That's the highest military award in Russia. Now, hang on. I have a Rolex for you. Don't forget your Rolex. Yeah. Celebrating.
Yeah, he killed more people. He has to be rewarded. He killed civilians. He killed civilians. And one, it's a quite old person.
Yes.
And he killed them. So it's for the Russia. It's deserved
an award. And I don't know what was in the gift bag. I'm making a joke about a Rolex, but he got an award and a gift. Thank you. Now, you may be wondering, what did Putler say today? Well, he made an entire big speech. I've got the first minute or so translated for you, and that's enough. That's all we're going to handle. So what happened? Well, this will say, I'll translate it for you here, and then it goes into the subtitles. President of Russia New Year's statement, Vladimir Putin.
Уважаемые граждане России, дорогие друзья, завершается 2022 год. Это был год трудных, необходимых решений, важнейших шагов к обретению полного суверенитета России и мощной консолидации нашего общества. Это был год, который многое расставил по местам. Четко отделил мужество и героизм от предательства и малодушия. Показал, что нет высшей силы, чем любовь к своим родным и близким, верность друзьям и боевым товарищам, преданность своему Отечеству. Это был год поистине поворотных, судьбоносных событий. Они стали тем рубежом, который закладывает основу нашего общего будущего, нашей истинной независимости. За это сегодня мы и сражаемся. Защищаем наших людей на наших же исторических территориях, в новых субъектах Российской Федерации. Вместе строим и созидаем. Главное – судьба России. Защита Родины – это наш священный долг перед предками и потомками. Нравственная, историческая правота на нашей стороне.
That's enough of that trash.
Yeah, it's trash, and it's trash. And Hitler
he goes on for about 6 more minutes.
Hitler was proud of what he's doing. Putin is proud of what he is doing. He is aggressing, invading the other country, killing the other people, and he says this is where we are. We are right because we invading the territories which in a certain period of time were ours. Which is like, and it's craziness. It's nothing about the law, nothing about justice. I think the world needs to answer, and Ukrainians will answer. We will answer.
Oh, that's what we're getting ready to talk about. But I just wrote down, that was just the first minute and a half. He goes on. He talks about how the West is the enemy. They're all against them. Everything in this speech, but we can't handle more than 90 seconds of that. But in those 90 seconds, what did you hear? We're fighting for our full sovereignty. I didn't know Russia wasn't a sovereign nation, first of all, before the war started. Who invaded them? Correct.
No. We're
consolidating our places. And he said this year cleared up a lot. Then he goes, we are fighting for our true independence.
Mm-hmm.
Who were they under?
I don't know.
Okay, just asking. And we're defending our people. One question, did they defend their people today when they killed them by dropping missiles on these cities? Just a question. And defending our new subjects, like a king, our new territory. And this is our destiny. Just the first 90 seconds. It's enough of that trash. What did Ukraine do to respond? Well, first of all, we have powerful guy here, Alexei Danilov, Secretary of Defense, puts out a message. Moskva, Kremlin, Russia tomorrow, 2023. And that's it. That was his message. But with the message was this video. This is Moscow. Something's coming.
I hope for.
Something's coming. Zelensky, after that, came out and said, after today's strike on New Year's Eve, unforgivable. That was his word. Unforgivable.
And, no negotiation. And the limits, the only Ukrainian nation can put the limits on that war.
Correct. No other nation, NATO, America, nobody. Correct.
We lost hundreds of thousands of people. This is what I think. Nobody knows about the war.
Correct.
And I want
I know.
Let's go.
You're ready to get back to you. I know. We're coming. Now, we talked about this, and I think this will encourage you, bud. I know it's a tough day. It's a tough day. Here we go. Reznikov, Alexei Reznikov. This is not the Secretary of Defense. That's Danilov. This is actually the defense minister. Very articulate, very smart. He made a statement for New Year's Eve, not to the Ukrainian people, in the Russian language, to the Russian people. And this is what we want to close out with tonight, showing you, folks, tomorrow, already tomorrow where you're at, Zhenya, but tomorrow for us in the West, waking up, it'll be January 1st, 2023. This war has turned a new chapter over the last 24 hours, moving to the new year. And here is Alexei Reznikov. You don't want to miss this. Here it is.
Меня зовут Алексей Резников. Я министр обороны Украины. Накануне Нового года я обращаюсь к гражданам России, которые являются военнообязанными. В первую очередь это касается жителей крупных российских городов. Я точно знаю, что у вас осталась примерно 1 неделя, пока еще есть хоть какой-то выбор. В начале января российские власти закроют границы для мужчин, затем объявят военное положение и начнут очередную волну мобилизации. Границы тоже будут закрыты и в Беларуси. Сегодня вы думаете, чем украсить праздничный стол, и строите свои планы. но за боем курантов вы можете не услышать стук в дверь. Это постучит военком. Особенно в городах, потому что в глубинке и так уже забрали многих. Об этом вряд ли скажут ваши руководители в новогодних обращениях. Поэтому внимательно послушайте то, что скажу вам я. Я не призываю вас верить мне на слово. Я хочу, чтобы вы задали себе всего один вопрос. И честно на него ответили. Когда вы отправитесь на войну, где можете погибнуть или стать калекой на всю оставшуюся жизнь, за что конкретно вы будете воевать? Лично вы. 10 месяцев назад ваше руководство и пропагандисты в телевизоре рассказывали, что есть некие цели, так называемые специальные военные операции, и что все идет по плану. Сейчас они об этом помалкивают, потому что им придется признать одно из двух. Первое, что согласно их же плану, впервые за 100 лет уничтожен флагман российского флота. На аэродромах в глубине России взрываются самолеты дальней авиации. Безвозвратные потери российской армии составляют уже более 100 тысяч человек. Чтобы заместить эти потери, уже провели одну волну мобилизации. Хотя еще летом категорически отрицали, что она будет. И обманули. По этому же плану в зонах набирают десятки тысяч зэков в частную военную компанию. Владельцу этой компании дозволено вытирать ноги о кадровых российских военных. Хотя простых людей бросают в тюрьмы за дискредитацию армии. По этому плану уже полгода безуспешно штурмуют небольшой украинский город Бахмут, положив там десятки тысяч солдат. Ранее положили тысячи солдат на правом берегу Днепра, а потом сбежали из Херсона. Как до этого сбежали из Харьковской области, из-под Киева, с Черниговщины и Сумщины. Что согласно этому плану Швеция и Финляндия заканчивают вступление в НАТО. Хотя ровно год назад люди в этих странах о НАТО и не помышляли и хотели сохранить нейтралитет. По этому плану весной запрещали произносить слово «война», а сегодня его говорят открыто. Я могу еще долго перечислять, но даже из этого следует, что если план был таким, его могли составить только враги России. Либо те, кто сидит в Кремле и бункерах, должны признать другое, что их замысел провалился, что они проиграли, и из-за их провала Россия потеряла свой авторитет в мире. Людей с российским паспортом теперь презирают не только в Европе, но и на Кавказе, и в Центральной Азии. Хотя еще год назад все было иначе. Руководство России уже давно понимает, что затея с войной против Украины обернулась для них катастрофой. И в интересах России как можно быстрее эту войну закончить. Но они не могут вам в этом признаться, потому что тогда придется за все отвечать. Что происходит сейчас? Что они делают? Те люди, которые развязали кровавую бойню, которые совершили ужасные военные преступления, теперь говорят вам, что надо сплотиться и защищать Россию, потому что кругом враги. Они запугивают вас тем, что в случае поражения над всеми россиянами якобы учинят расправу, отнимут нажитое непосильным трудом, организуют трибунал и так далее. Это ложь. Вас снова обманывают. На самом деле они хотят защитить не Россию, они защищают себя, свое положение, свое имущество, свое богатство. А для этого хотят переложить свою вину на вас. Сделать вас соучастниками преступления. Единственная причина, ради которой вас отправят на войну, чтобы вы защитили преступников, их дворцы, их банковские счета. И сами стали преступниками. Вы можете погибнуть или потерять здоровье исключительно ради того, чтобы эти люди не понесли ответственность. Тысячи россиян, мобилизованных осенью, уже погибли. Многие тысячи стали инвалидами только ради того, чтобы защитить этих преступников. Больше никаких целей у Кремля в этой войне уже нет. Они могут вам рассказывать, что есть какой-то план «Б», какое-то тайное оружие, что вскоре опять начнутся победы. Но весь их план в том, чтобы затянуть войну. чтобы убить как можно больше людей и загнать ситуацию в тупик. Вы отправитесь умирать только ради этого. Теперь я скажу не как министр обороны, а как юрист. Все граждане России, безусловно, косвенно заплатят за развязанную войну. Из-за нынешних руководителей Россия будет вынуждена на протяжении нескольких поколений компенсировать нанесенный Украине ущерб. Это неизбежно. Но есть огромная разница. Те, кто лично не участвовал в преступлениях, кто не подстрекал к войне, потеряют лишь часть дохода и часть комфорта. Это правда. Но пока лично вы не совершили преступлений, вам нечего опасаться. Даже если вы голосовали за действующую власть. Под трибунал пойдут только военные преступники. Это та правда, которую очень боятся в Кремле. И которую скрывают от граждан России. Снова и снова вас обманывая. Если война затянется, лично у вас вырастут шансы погибнуть. Потому что за новой волной мобилизации будет следующая. Потом еще. И тому, кто сидит в бункере, все равно, сколько россиян погибнет. Главное, чтобы не добрались до них. Но чем дольше длится эта война, тем тяжелее будут последствия для простых людей, для простых россиян. Украинцы не отступят. Мы защищаем свою землю, своих родных, свои дома. Поэтому честно себе ответьте, хотите ли вы в следующем году умереть или остаться без рук, без ног, чтобы кто-то другой не сел в тюрьму? Хотят ли ваши близкие ценой вашей жизни или здоровья оттягивать начало трибунала над убийцами, насильниками, грабителями, которые вас обманывают? Если хотите, то берите повестку и отправляйтесь в армию. Украинские воины на поле боя вам популярно объяснят, какую ошибку вы совершили. Если же не хотите, избегайте мобилизации любым способом. Когда бункерные вожди не смогут собрать и отправить на бойню новую партию мобилизованных, они будут вынуждены признать свое поражение. И война закончится. Это все равно случится. Вопрос только в цене. И будет ли эта цена оплачена вашей кровью. Празднование Нового года с близкими – это хорошее время осмыслить все это. Если через год вы хотите сидеть за столом с родными и друзьями, подумайте и примите правильное решение.
Brilliant.
It's just advice. And
But
he
man,
what he's
brilliant.
expecting. Mhm.
That's the quality of leadership Ukraine has. So, a couple of questions. I know people are thinking that have watched this. He said, you have 1 week and the borders are going to close and martial law is going to happen. Belarus, the same is going to happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
Do they know things?
Yeah. I think they know something from Ukrainian side.
Okay.
Ukrainian plans. And something from Russian side.
One of the things we've talked about, and we'll leave it here and everybody get to your New Year's, but he said these new mobilizations will be different because the mobilizations to this point, you and I have talked about this. Many of these soldiers that they've sent as cannon fodder come from way out east or way out in remote regions. But now they're going to have to start mobilizing Moscow, Kazan, Nizhny Novgorod, St. Petersburg, Rostov-on-Don, and they're coming to the cities and knock on your doors. So it's going to change. Powerful statement there. And he said, if you want to think about having a nice dinner next year for New Year's, you better think about it and make the right decision. Wow. I hope folks enjoyed that translation. Powerful statement there by the defense minister, Alexei Reznikov. Well, Bud, thank you.
Thank you.
Happy New Year to you and your family.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you. The people who will be watching that. And one more time, it's a good chance to say thank you for everything you do for people I mean, who experiencing the invasion to their country, the Ukrainians in Ukraine, or who had to leave because of the Russia, their places, and it's more than 7 million of people.
Yes.
And so thank you, and yeah, being thankful one more day, one more time. Think about those who fighting for the homes, for the soldiers, for think about the families who lost their fathers, sons today, and Ukraine are fighting on on Ukrainian territory for own land. So thank you to all who are realizing it. Thank you for all who shares the truth and supports us. Thank you.
Amen. And finally, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you again.
Happy New Year.
Great team. And we'll see you in 2023. How about that? See you in 23 hours for more update. And then I'll be heading to Amsterdam. And for sure, you'll be with us every step of the way. All right, bud. Enjoy your family. Good night to you. A good night to all.
To all a good night.
Let me go that one. There. Do it again. Sprava.
Sprava.
No. Pull to the